Hello and welcome to Coffee with Carrie. Thank you so much for stopping by today to be a part of the conversation. If you're new here, I'm Carrie. I'm a matchmaker and a dating coach in the Chicago area. And if you've been here before, you know that most of our conversations are about dating and relationships. And today I'm going to skip over some of the dating stuff, but I do want to talk about what a healthy relationship looks like. In my opinion, in all the information that I've gleaned over the years, from family relationships to client relationships and my own, I wanted to share that with you and give you something to think about. I never set down rules here, and I realize everybody's different. These are just my opinions, but they work for a lot of people. So if you want to hear what I have to say about a healthy relationship, I hope you'll stick around. That's what we're talking about. All through my life, from the beginning, before I was even having relationships, I've been told the same thing by, I guess, initially my mother, then friends, probably even professors I had in school when talking with them after classes. I'm thinking of one in particular, obviously. When talking about love, I've always heard and believed that two healthy people come together to form a healthy relationship, and that is what results in lasting love. And I know it can come about in other ways now, but there are some ways I believe it can't come together to be something long-lasting and healthy for both people. And that's kind of what I wanted to touch upon today. I've been working with a couple clients who have realized that they have patterns that they're working within and trying to break out of, things that haven't been healthy for them, attracting some of the wrong people, making some of the same mistakes over and over, and a lot of that has begun in the choosing process. They seem to feel that their picker is broken. And it was interesting because years ago I watched, when the Learning Channel was actually different learning shows, there was one about relationships, and they were talking about how a woman had a few relationships and she kept choosing men who had drinking problems. So she did the work. She went through therapy. She worked really hard to break her habit of choosing people that were not going to be good for her in the long run. And it was really interesting because they found that she found a healthy relationship, began living in this relationship, and a couple years down the road, this person developed, who had never had a drinking problem and was probably not much of a drinker when they started their relationship, developed a drinking problem in the long term. And it was a conversation on this show about what she was drawing to her, what she could see in people that she was getting to know, that she was attracted to. And I thought that was super interesting, and it's obviously stuck with me through all these years. And I try to use what I learned from that, incorporate it into conversations I have with clients. And I thought it was kind of appropriate here because we really do need to make sure that we've done the work and that we're looking for the right qualities that will make us happy and will last long term. I talked to a client this week and he admitted he is a fixer. He likes to take care of other people's problems, and that's also happened within his relationships, and that's very common. A lot of times it's women who are that nurturing part of them come out and they want to care for, tend to, fix. But men also are huge problem solvers. They love to solve problems as well for the people they care about. So that's one way that this might manifest itself, that somebody isn't in the right place for a healthy relationship. They need fixing, but we're drawn to them because we enjoy the process of trying to get somebody back to a healthy place. A lot of people enjoy the process of being a support system for someone and teaching them and trying to mold them into something that they feel would not only be better for themselves, but better for the other person. Quite common. And you might want to check if you're in a relationship or out of a relationship, that if this is something that you are drawn to and tend to do in relationships, to take a quick stop and examine that and whether or not it's working for you. Secondly, I wanted to talk about the fact that, especially in my over 50 people who have often, not always, but often had at least one long-term relationship or a marriage that ended in divorce or lost a partner in other ways, that they come to the table with some experiences. Some people choose to call it baggage. It's not always baggage. Sometimes it's experiences, but sometimes it is baggage, and sometimes it's feelings that are lasting from where they left off in that last relationship, which is why one of my screening questions when I'm getting to know people is asking them whether they've done the work to figure out what role they may have played in the end of their last relationship. And I think that doing that close examination and looking deep inside and going through that self-discovery process, whether it's alone or with a counselor, is really, really helpful in being able to move on and find a healthy relationship. And also identifying any areas where we've been making unhealthy choices in either choosing partners or the way we were living in our last relationship. So I always like to encourage people to do that deep dive into better understanding themselves and figuring out if they're not in a super healthy place or not coming from a place of good health and stability and a great understanding of who they are and what they're looking for. I always encourage people to seek those answers. Information is power, and that can do nothing but help you out. The other way this sometimes manifests itself is that some people are looking for somebody outside themselves to come and be their better half, but not in just that cute way that people say it, hey, this is my better half, but somebody to fill in their missing places, to be somebody who completes them. They both may be lacking in certain areas, but the other partner has strengths where one has weaknesses. And in some ways, that's really awesome when people have different gifts and talents to come together and bring those to a partnership. Somebody's a great communicator, somebody's working on being a great communicator, and help the other person to fulfill the goal they have of being able to communicate effectively with each other, then that works. But when it comes to more other issues that people have with themselves where they need to look a little deeper, perhaps finding somebody to fill us up, so to speak, or fill in our gaps is probably not the best way to go about finding two healthy, whole people to come together as one partnership. The other thing that's been coming up lately is if a real healthy love is based on two whole, complete people coming together, do these people have to be equal in coming together and loving each other equally? And I think that's a really interesting question, because I don't think that a healthy relationship has people keeping score. I don't think that a healthy relationship probably has people making comparisons on what I did for you and what you haven't done, and I've done this twice, or I'm the only one taking care of this, or I'm the one making the effort. I heard something a long time ago. It was some celebrity. They were asking the success of her very long-term relationship, and she said that we make sure that neither one of us wants to leave. Neither of us ever wants to leave at the same time that the other one. She was obviously much more articulate, but not having both people want to walk away from this at the same time is really, really helpful in a situation where people are negotiating and dealing with problems or issues. I do believe that not power, but who's more in love with who at any given time shifts throughout a relationship. I think there's ways that we can reconnect with the feelings we had for somebody originally, the ones that made us fall in love with them, and that can drive us to feeling more affectionate and or close to and falling in love with somebody again. It's a tool, I'm sure, that doctors or people in therapy with couples uses to their benefit. Rediscovering the reasons that you fell in love with somebody is a great way to bring back those memories to the surface and then be able to feel that for this person again. But I think if you're doing that at different times, it's very common for people to fall in love with each other at separate times, so that one person is feeling really connected and feeling an intimacy towards this person while the other person's just going along in their 15 or 5 or 25 year relationship and not really paying it much mind, kind of coasting, where the other person is feeling much more connected. And I think that sometimes people take turns with that. So as long as nobody's keeping score or trying to make sure that you're giving me the exact amount of love that I'm giving you, I think that's perfectly natural. So I guess I'm saying I still do believe that a healthy relationship comes from two healthy people coming together who want to enjoy and share the journey of life together and support each other, be one another's cheerleader, be the person who is there to lift you up when you're feeling down and to listen to you and to also enjoy all your wins and encourage you when things are going well. And I wanted to mention here that if anyone is feeling that they need somebody to fix them, if you're on the receiving end of that needing to be fixed at any time because you're not feeling your absolute best self, I don't think that's the job of a partner. I think you should wait on making that partnership if it's at the beginning of a relationship and this is a new relationship, or keep it where it's at while you go and seek to fix whatever fixing needs to be done with a professional. That's what therapists are for, and they're good at what they do. When you find a good one, it's an amazing experience. So I encourage you, if any part of you isn't feeling healthy where you can be a full-fledged equal partner to somebody in the kind of relationship you're looking for, talk to somebody. I hope you found this helpful and or interesting. If you did, please give the episode a thumbs up. While you're down there, if you would hit the subscribe button and then ring the bell so you're notified every time I upload a new episode, that would be great. I'd look forward to having you back here again soon. Appreciate you stopping by today, and until next time, have a good one.